This video is a message to all the fake liberals and fake progressives out there. The next thing I would normally say here is, you know who you are. But chances are you don't. Chances are, if you're a fake liberal, you think I'm talking about someone else. You probably think of yourself to be the real McCoy. I aim to rectify that misunderstanding shortly. There was a time when I thought liberals were my allies. They spoke out against the wars, against the Patriot Act, the secret prisons, the tortures, the growing defense budget, and the blatant fascism when Bush was in office. And for 8 years, I listened to liberal talk show hosts and other so-called activists, believing them at face value. When Obama came along, I understood people's enthusiasm. He was saying all the right things, at least from that illusory view of the left. But when I started looking into who was funding him and backing him, and began pointing this out to people, the response I got was less than receptive. No problem, I thought. If he's really a corporate puppet like the evidence indicates, then the left will wake up quickly and the push towards real change will continue. That's where I was dead wrong. You see, what I was about to discover is that being a liberal or conservative in America is much like being a member of a religion. And like the Catholic Church, which covers up the molestation of young boys committed by their priest, most conservatives and liberals are much more concerned about protecting their position than they are about the truth. This is the herd mentality. Self-identify with the herd, defend the leader of the herd regardless of what he does, acknowledge nothing that might damage the image of the herd, and above all, never step outside of the pack. If this means discarding all or most of the values that one had proclaimed just a few months prior, so be it. I had come to believe that values like standing against injustice, war, torture, assassinations, domestic spying, and corruption were liberal values. But I was wrong. These were just catchphrases, political mud pies to be thrown at the opposition. They were never real principles intended to stand above party alliances. In the beginning of the Obama presidency, I could excuse the lingering stars in the eyes, the lack of awareness of the early warning signs. A lot of people didn't even notice that Obama kept Bush's defense secretary Robert Gates, or that he named former Raytheon lobbyist William Lynn to be his deputy defense secretary. But now, with 4 years of warmongering and blatant corruption under his belt, his obscene bailouts of Wall Street, the top campaign contributor Goldman Sachs in particular, signing off on the largest defense budget in American history and therefore world history, the expanded drone program in multiple countries, the continued use of secret prisons and torture, and the continued use of executive orders to move America closer and closer to being an outright military dictatorship. At this point, those who defend Obama have no excuse anymore. I find it funny that when I point these things out, these fake liberals like to come back with what they think is a clever defense, which is essentially to point the finger at Bush and say that Bush started it. Bush started it? That's the best you can do? What I find even more funny is that they throw this in my face as if I would find it shocking or offensive. Never does it seem to cross their mind that they might just be talking to someone who actually cares about the morality of the issues regardless of which team did what. Never does it cross their mind that they might be speaking to someone who was speaking out against the wars during the Bush administration too, and who actually expected the same standards to be applied to the Obama administration. Never does it cross their mind that they might be talking to someone who doesn't buy into the left-right herd mentality. Obama supporters pointing the finger at Bush is about as valid as Stalin pointing the finger at Hitler saying that he started the mass murders first. That's not an exaggeration. These wars of aggression are mass murder. Here's the deal. If you don't actually care about the issues that you brought up during the Bush administration, if you just pretended to be anti-war when it was trendy and cool, if your moral compass swings as needed to protect the Democratic Party, then you are a fake liberal. You are no better than the idiots that still supported Bush at the end of his last term, and you deserve nothing but utter disdain. Obama's regime apologists are the new neocons. They've taken the religion of preemptive war, covert destabilization, and corporate fascism and given it a new paint job. But I got news for you. You're not fooling anybody but yourselves. So am I talking to you? If you're starting to feel angry and defensive right now, then yes, I'm talking to you. There's no point directing that anger towards me or anyone else. You have no one to blame but yourself for your hypocrisy. And there's no point trying to defend yourself either, because there is no defense. The only thing that you could possibly do to regain your credibility is to change your behavior. But what you need to realize is that if you don't change now, if you wait until Obama is out of office, then no one is going to take you seriously for the next 8 years of Republican rule that's going to follow. The next time you see one of these guys defending Obama, send them a link to this video. It's time to make these morons embarrassed to show their faces. Agree or disagree, leave your 2 cents in the comments. And if that's not enough, call us tonight, Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern, and we can discuss any topic you'd like. Want more like this? Don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to make sure you don't miss any videos, then follow us on Facebook and Twitter and my personal website, stormcloudsgathering.com, for bonus content.